Hello and welcome back. It is still Afrosport at Now in Focus. There's a lot to get to, especially starting with the performance of Team Nigeria. They just concluded Olympics in Paris. A glance at the medals table will show you that there is no NIG abbreviation amongst the teams with medals at this Olympics. It caps off a very, very disappointing games for Nigeria, which has culminated in a lot of inquiries as to whether or not this has been an Olympics that has maybe shown the flaws of Nigerian sports as opposed to the strengths. The 31st Olympiad has shown that not only does Nigeria have talent who can go on and dominate the world, there's a lot of athletes who've represented other nations who've ended up picking up medals for other countries rather than Nigeria. The sports minister, who, in all honesty, only took the job a year and a half ago when probably all the plans for the Olympics had already been made. He took to social media in the aftermath of Nigeria's very poor display at the Olympics, and he went on to say the Olympics Games, and this was on Twitter, but on Twitter, X, formerly Twitter, he said the Olympic Games Paris 2024 is ended, and I accept that our performance should have been a lot better. It's obviously fell short of our objective expectation and hopes of Nigeria. I must apologize to our compatriots and reflect on what went wrong while looking forward to the Paralympic Games, which as you can see, it starts on the 28th of August to the September the 8th. He went on to say, as a responsible organization, we've swung into a review process and we shall evaluate the competition's readiness of every athlete comprehensively, including their injury and medical history within the limits of patient confidentiality. The role of coaches and administrative staff will also be examined. He finished by saying it was a really long statement from the sports minister. We just picked out a few salient points there, and this was the final one. He says there must be a lot of lessons to learn from our performance, and improvements must be made in all ramifications. The last time we returned from the Olympics without a medal was in 2012. So really, really damning stat for Team Nigeria. Well, earlier I was on the line with Afrosport director Deji Omotoyinbo, and I asked him how bad was it that Team Nigeria finished with 0 medals at the Paris Games.
Well, I think not picking up a medal for a country like Nigeria should be a disappointment. But I also think that we're hoping against hope. We were all confident that, and that was rightly so, that Toby Amusan will pick up a medal because of our rating in the sport, the world record holder. But that happened. Things happen in sport. But there are some few performances, good performances. The young man Samuel Ogazi in the 400 meters got to the final. His first Olympics, came second. Even the young lady that came last in the long jump, from where she came from a year ago, President Cholago, that's a huge leap. But for me, between potential and podium is a process, and I think it's that process that we're not getting right. You know, people have been talking sports minister, 12 billion and all of that. A sports minister that resumes, and that's another part of the problem, continuity. A sports minister that resumes a year, 9, 10 months to the Olympics can only impact logistics. It cannot impact performance. Because 1 year is not the time you used to come up with Olympic winners. It's a 7 to 10 year process. The next Olympics, this minister might not be there. So the minister situation is not the issue. The issue for me is the sporting federations that are not fit for purpose. Too much infighting, ego tripping, no developmental plan as far as I know. Improper funding, maybe you can blame government for that, because in our country, government comes up with funding maybe very late, training grants and all of that. So the talent pool is there. Talent is not enough. Our developmental structures, our governance structures surrounding our sports, not good enough. Bryce Park, you mentioned Rena Wakama, Bryce Park. I spoke to her after the USA game, and I pointedly asked her that I told her that I heard that some WNBA teams are looking at direction. She seems committed to the Nigerian team and the project, from what she said at that interview. Hopefully she stays, and they're on to good things, because they came up with a lot of quality, and everybody showed them a lot of respect, and that was the only thing we could be proud of here. And for a team that did not get to the semi-finals, for the coach to be named coach of the tournament, you know that she is held in very high esteem indeed.
All right. I was very, very interested in what you said earlier about the from moving from a potential stage to the podium. Is there a real danger that, despite the fact that we look at some really bright spots like Samuel Ogashi, like you said, and the young lady who I saw at even local championships just last year, and I didn't even think she'd ever make it to Olympics, making the final of the long jump in the Olympics. Is there a real danger that even after identifying such huge talents, we still run the risk of them falling off even before the next Olympics?
You're very right, Tolu. The last Olympics, Enoch Adegoke made the finals of the 100 meters. I hear he's injured, so maybe we can give the benefit of the doubt. But we come up with these youngsters, and somehow, that's why I said that process between potential and podium, something goes wrong. Even in weightlifting, there was a young lady, I think Falila Tulawa, who came fit in a very strong field. I think 53 kilograms, he played creditable fifth. So those are elite athletes you identify, and you put them through a process, a training program, developmental program, track them, monitor them, maybe you have a technical team deal with them. Some countries came to the Olympics this year with some athletes, and they told me that they didn't expect those athletes to win this Olympics, win a medal, but they're priming them for 2028. That's the kind of long-term plan that you need to win at the Olympics. And I think the body of work you require, we are not structured to put that together. There are federation elections in the next 2 years, and that's going to be what's going to be front, back, and center for these guys. At times, it looks like as if the athletes are bottom of the priority list. It's very unfortunate.
All right. So generally around the Olympics, though, it was a wonderful event. Obviously, from the opening ceremony that was done over this River Seine, and of course the closing ceremony, which was much more conventional, which was held in the stadium. For you, though, what were your standout moments of this Olympic Games, and what do you expect will change heading to Los Angeles in 2028?
Well, for me, for the Olympics, the standout moments were seeing established sports superstars showing how much the Olympic gold medal meant. I go to the Serbian Djokovic. The emotion that Djokovic displayed, he has won everything in tennis. But the emotion he displayed when he won the Olympic tennis gold was good to see. Like, he meant something. He made the golden slam. The superstar US basketball team, the way they fought to win that gold, the passion, the energy, the emotion. These are guys who had it all. So for them to come to the Olympics and show so much passion and will to win, I felt it showed us that the Olympics indeed meant something, even to the superstars who have done it all professionally. The enthusiasm of the crowd was also good to see. Every event to the rafters, and it looks like every sport has its own rituals with the fans, habits, and all. It was a lot of fun. Maybe the weather was really hot, and some of the media buses did not have ACs, so at times we were like, the first 3 days was very wet, interestingly, and then the weather just changed. From the third, fourth day, it was very hot, 35, 37 degrees. We don't even have that in Lagos. Temperatures. So that's why football, they have to have a water break. And all in all, Paris has done a good job. They are very happy with themselves. They're very satisfied. Security went top notch. There were no issues at all. And looking ahead, I think early 2020 will have a tough act to follow. They're already showing signs with the way they handed over the torch with using the superstars in film and music to launch their 2028 campaign. So at the end of the day, we have a lot to look forward to. For Nigeria, we just need, because we are better than this. But we need to put in the work. Without that, I hope in 4 years' time, we won't be lamenting the same situation.
All right. Well, just before I let you go, I've been interested to get your take on the agenda controversy around the boxing athletes from Algeria and China. They both went on to win gold in their respective categories in the women's. The Olympics going forward, though, how will they address this issue around this gender controversy, especially on the women's side of the boxing divide?
My fear for that is that it might start protesting, just like the boxer that walk off in the first bout. Other athletes might feel this is unfair advantage if we can't compete fairly with these contestants, and that might undermine the integrity of this. They have a decision to make in boxing.
But
Because the other athletes might feel it's unfair advantage, and when they start pulling out, it casts doubt on the integrity of the competition. So they've had serious decisions to make going forward. I really don't know how they're going to solve it, but it's a major problem.
If you were going to advise them, how would you say they go?
Well, I'm not a medical expert. I don't know enough about these things, but I do feel that those boxers have some physical advantages over what I would call regular female boxers. And you can't discount that. You cannot discount that. And I think that's an issue they really have to address.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Deji, for talking to us on Afrosport now International. Enjoy your holiday as you leave Paris, though.